You have got the 365 Message Center show with Darrell and Daniel. We've got a lot of stuff we're not even going to intro because there's 13, 14 updates. They dropped it on us. Let's roll the intro. Can I do the Nashville the home of this time around? Because you
Sure, go
include
for it.
me in on something, yeah? Nashville the home of once you get past Labor Day, you shouldn't be wearing white suits. Did I get that right?
Uh, yeah, basically.
Okay, okay. So you're getting out of summer. We're going
Yes.
towards summer. Um, we don't have time to talk about seasons right now. We've got
No, we
13 or
don't.
14 updates. Let's just get on with it. Okay. Well,
Let's do it.
thank you for your patience. Welcome to the show. Uh,
Hi,
uh,
everybody.
uh, yeah. Um, Cracking right in. We have Microsoft Whiteboard GA. This is
Well,
something.
you've already skipped one.
Have I?
So, not
Have
really,
I?
but you don't have it. I have one that you don't have, which is talking about the Office 365 video self-service migration to
Oh.
Microsoft Stream.
Okay.
So, this was published August 26th, and it's MC1888843. It's talking about how you can initiate the migration from Office 365 Video to Stream. And that is the people that can do that are Office 365 Global admins or Office 365 Video admins. And it'll be on top of the portal, and you can initiate that migration. Now, after you initiate the migration, though, you'll have the opportunity to review it as you're going through, but you can't like stop it once you do it. So Office 365 Video won't be available anymore. Once it's set as that default application, you go through the migration and
So
finalize it.
what's the review for then?
Yeah, I think it's just making sure that everything's going on, but when you finalize it, it's done.
Okay. Okay.
Office 365 Video won't be accessible. Now, I will say, I find Stream, and I don't know about you, Darrell, but I find Stream to be a great product. Functioning, I think it functions a lot better than Office 365 Video in several ways. Do you feel the same?
I haven't look. The reason I haven't got it as a message in my
Oh, it's
tenant
because
is
you don't
because I
use it.
haven't used it for 2 years or something. I
Gotcha.
think I dropped one video in it on launch just to try it out.
Yeah. Well, it's a great service, Stream,
Yeah.
and we've known about this transition for a while. I will caution people though that there are some drawbacks to this, and one of the biggest is that Stream doesn't have available APIs
Oh.
to bring in this. Yeah, so some of the third parties that are using video as part of their internet products still use Office 365 Video because it does, and they can do some cool stuff with the videos and point to channels and do some really cool things there. And it's not a
Hmm.
one video at a time thing. But with Stream, they don't have the same capabilities yet. That Microsoft, I think, has had it on the roadmap for a while to have those same capabilities, but it's not there yet. So I'm, for those of you that have doing some custom stuff there, and for those vendors that are using Office 365 Video, just be alert to that. Some of your stuff may not just go over to Stream very well. So just a
Mm.
little bit of a caution. We don't have any timing on this as far as when you have to do it. I can't remember the time frame, but I think it's within. I don't think they have a date in mind of when it'll be automatic, when the automatic transition goes, which is kind of a good thing if you're using some of those custom
Mm.
APIs. So I
Hmm.
just want to throw that in.
Yep. So you've got that review period.
Hmm.
Really take note of that because you will be moved eventually.
Yep, that's
Work with
right.
your vendors to get it going. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
On to ones that may be common in our list. Ha! Board Web GA. We have Microsoft Whiteboard as an app. Has been released. Great. Advice here for those who are getting into using it. If you want to encourage the behavior of having a whiteboard available for your online meetings, set it up beforehand. However,
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't, within Teams, you can open up the whiteboard as part of your online experience, and it will be limited but you can use it in a web space. You can draw on the web page, which is cool. So that's becoming available. Good to see.
And it's if you want to disable it, you have to do so via switch prior to the GA. Yep. Okay.
Right. So it follows that usual pattern where if something's going GA, it's been in preview for a bit, they tend to roll it out in GA as default on. So you need to review that setting if you did turn it off intentionally.
And that's rolling out this end of September, be completed by the end of November.
Am I missing that? Is that the dates
right,
in there?
Right there. Stop. Right there.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yammer uses your Office profile. Hallelujah. I say that respectfully, actually. But
very respectfully.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing that was glaringly a sore thumb, when you upgrade or you changed your profile picture or you did certain things, it was not spreading out to everywhere where your profile appeared. And it's good to see that Yammer's now going to be using the Office profile. Information is going to be common between all the different places that you see yourself, contact cards, etc. Awesome.
Right. I agree.
Now,
and that's gradually rolling out to customers in late September. Final rollout worldwide by the end of October.
All right. Is there anything they need to do to prepare? If Yammer is corresponding identity, yeah, it'll be synced from Azure AD. Good upon first sign into Yammer. So it is still a separate service, but there is two things, because I think recently we saw that you don't have to go in and activate yourself now. There'll be a default activation that happens when you sign in anyway. So same thing, that'll happen, and your AD details will match. Really not much more to say about that, I think, just that it's a good thing that's happening. Ensure your users have profiles up to date.
Hopefully.
Do that anyway. It's valuable to actually keep on top of your Azure AD and give people the useful and correct information to find each other.
That's right.
But we know this. This next message I glanced over, but it is important to call out for those of you who have built additional add-ins and bits and pieces using FabricJS. You're now shifting to Fabric Core. Also,
or
if you're
React.
using Fabric React. Yep.
Yeah.
Not my area of expertise, but just know that you probably have some recoding involved, I guess.
Yeah, and just know that October 1st, they're going to just stop making updates to the Office UI Fabric JS. So it's not that you're going to lose that functionality. And so it is important, though, that for you to start coding in React or Core, Fabric Core. So just make sure that you're doing that. But you may need to go back and do recode if you've been using FabricJS. So.
Yep. There we go. Nice and gradual. Dark mode. Ooh, look, there's even a picture. Yeah.
Pretty picture.
So everything's going dark. And this is a good thing because then it's all about accessibility. I guess I say tongue in cheek. We don't want to burn our eyeballs out with the glaring white screens that we use.
Maybe I'm
treading
doing that,
a line there? Am I going to get myself in trouble?
Maybe, because I don't like dark mode for most things. I know, don't hate on me. I just there's a lot of stuff I just don't like in dark mode. And
check out that blue on the black.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And I don't know. For some stuff, I think for me, it has been okay. But for the most part, I don't like dark mode. I don't know. Yeah,
my feeling for this, and I see it in at least the iOS experience, this nice thing where it goes, you're getting into the evening hours of your time. I'm going to turn on the nice, tone down the colors and relax your eyes with a nice amber hue in the background.
Right.
Wouldn't it be great if our apps did the same? They picked up on those things and switched from dark to light.
I will say,
Twitter does it.
It does. I think the biggest thing that I actually use in dark mode is Visual Studio I do code in Dark there, but otherwise, just don't use it really.
Yeah. I would like to see that transition. I do swap between them. If I am outside and I find that, or I'm sitting with a window behind me, I'm not going to use dark mode because everything reflects. But
Right.
I do like the look of it. I just think one experience I had today, I had a order come through confirmation from Amazon, and you'll find that a lot of the graphics that have been designed for emails assume the white
Or
background.
white. Yeah,
So that's going to
right.
make things interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoy. Coming to, well, it's out now, Google Play
Right.
and the Apple App Store, and yeah, let's keep going. What's this? Oh, ability to log tickets and choose a product or service.
Yeah, and I just did this just to take a look, but being able to basically when you go to create a ticket, you can select a product to say this is what it's about. And so if you click on
Support, right? So we'll go show.
well, there should be, where's your support button? I have a support button right there.
Oh,
On
you
this
mean on the
service
Surface
help.
Health app? Yeah.
I did.
So we'll just go new service requests. So we know that if I said, for example,
See, I don't have this experience. This is
You don't?
interesting.
yeah,
No, I
okay.
don't.
So look, I can't even log a request until I request help, or even search for something. So let's say can't access email. All right. So there's no suggestion for that. If I said can't access it, at least it's got something for Dynamic 365 apps. Loading self-help, right? So let me just assume that none of those are going to help. I still need to contact support. So now the button is lit up.
Yeah.
I probably should give it a decent title, decent description. Whoop, you can phone me now, everyone. Hello, I'm welcome all hours. Never mind. But
Well,
there's
so
nothing. Yep.
yeah, and that must be the older version then, because I'm
Okay.
I'm in the newer version and I can report an incident. So like if you close this down on the right side there, right above the name of the app, there's a link for me that says report an incident.
Right. So if I
Like
click into
no, like right above this, like in that white
okay.
space where you're
Yep.
like it. There's nothing there for you. In between the in between the horizontal line there and the name of the column of name, there's a button for me. So, and in there it says it has the services, and it says which one of these services is causing a problem. So I think that's cool.
Yep. So you can be a bit more specific. You can give the Microsoft support a bit more help.
Right.
Narrowing
And
it down.
the three that I only have three: SharePoint, Exchange, and Skype.
Ah.
So that's interesting.
Are you using the new admin center?
Yes.
Okay, so you must be using the new admin center, and I'm using
Right,
the
the
old
new.
admin center.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Back to our messages. But point is that you can give them a bit more help. I did see something there because I haven't had to log a ticket for a while. I like that you can say, "Here's my my time zone, so don't call me when I'm asleep."
Yeah.
Plan maintenance for Yammer. Yay, good. One day we won't see these because everything will be plugged in and it'll just, there won't be any outages. But good to know that we get told.
But no, it may be out for a couple hours, depending on. Yeah.
This one, Daniel and I, to be more formal, we were considering our white suits and whether or not we should wear them after Labor Day. And we also looked at this and thought, you know what? There are some experts that know much more about this. We're not even going to try and cover this and do justice. Who are we going to point them towards?
Right. First thing I want to actually mention is I actually have two message centers updates that are exactly the same here, except that one has an action required by December 31st and the other one doesn't. So MC189149 for me is just a plan for change, and it has the same text. MC189160, which is what you're showing here now, has for me a December 31st act by. But these are the changes coming to licensing updates for Microsoft Flow and PowerApps in Microsoft 365. And it's got an effective date of October 1st. Sorry. You're right. I don't feel comfortable in diving in, especially, on this show. It's not really proper to dive into all of the licensing changes and what it means. I know there's some trepidation. I know there's some people who are a little bit anxious about this and how it's going to affect your organization. There is a new blog post. There was a blog post a few weeks ago that kind of introduced, hey, we're going to be changing things. It was updated over time to provide a little bit of clarity, but now there's an additional blog post that came out last week that describes a little bit more in detail. There it is. A little bit more in detail of the changes and how it's going to impact you. I think the biggest thing that I got told was to be clear on this is if you're using PowerApps and Flow inside of Office 365 only, right? And you're not, so that means you're not using premium connectors. That means you're using Office 365 connectors and you're just integrating with SharePoint and such, then really this doesn't affect you. Okay? That's what I got told. However, if you're doing other stuff, then this may affect you. And so that was kind of the big clarity is, I do know the percentage. I was told that in confidence, but I do know the percentage of people who are only in Office 365, and that's the only reason they're using PowerApps and Flow, and that's how they've got their license. So it's a big number, and so for those people, this change doesn't affect you. But for others, it could actually have a really big effect on you. So dive into this blog post, read it carefully, and if you have any questions, I would say jump on to the various areas. I don't think Flow is in Tech Community.
I think there's a community there. The PowerApps is its own community, don't they?
Yes, and Flow does too, I believe. I'm looking right now. Community. It is powerusers.microsoft.com and then /T5. I don't know. Just go to that and see what you get.
Yeah, powerusers.microsoft.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is where you can get some
Flow
support. So, there's
community.
a Power App. Yep. So go here and ask questions if you have questions. There's people in here. The product team is in here. They will answer your questions. So this is where to go. But I will say, like I said, if you're just using Office 365, you should be good to go. I will, one little item, just a tip, a little bit here, is that if you want to use a premium connector that'll be premium after October 1st, but is not premium now, then go ahead and create a Flow or Power App with that premium connector, because you'll be grandfathered in for a while. There'll be a period of time when you'll be grandfathered in. If you don't, then no grandfather for you. Wait, that's not what I meant. You can have your grandfather. I'm not taking.
You can have your grandfather.
I'm not taking. So it's in the message here. It says it. It says you can. Let's see. It is in the. I'm sorry. It was in the blog post, not in the message.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, read the blog post.
Yep.
And there's some instructions on the bottom of the message telling you if you plan to use capabilities and you want a grandfather or a period until October 1st, 2020, then you can get that. You just need to open up a ticket. But the whole premium, I think SQL Server is one of them, and some others. So if you want to use those, go ahead and create stuff now before October 1st. Sorry, I said more than I said I was going to say about that. I just wanted to make
you
sure
left out one thing we were going to do, which was do a quick salute to the Flow Pro show that did do a video discussion on that. So Sandy, Usia, and friends, they did discuss this too. So we'll see if we can link the video somewhere in description or corners or whatever. Yeah. Moving on, there's updates around cloud voicemail enhancements. Those of you who've managed to use Microsoft Teams for your phone system, then you'll be able to forward calls off, transfer it directly to cloud voicemail, nice, or to your mobile phone number. Some rules that you can create around how is that call going to be managed in terms of flows. Does it go to something else, or do you want to give them choices, different out of office greetings? So take advantage of that. And
choice is good. Options, love it.
Yep. I'm actively involved in some adoption around helping orgs with using Teams for calls. And it's interesting how it's landing. It's really good. Enabling a few scenarios that couldn't be before. If you are using the Office 365 Facebook connector to bring in posts, social stuff that your team might be, that your org might be publishing, and you bring it into your team or your Office 365 Outlook group, it's going away. But how quickly
first of
is
all,
it going away?
Microsoft doesn't know it if you are. Because it says our telemetry indicates limited use of the connector to Facebook. So just letting you know, we're killing it because nobody's using it. September 4th. So a couple days, we're losing it. That connectors for Teams, SharePoint, Yammer, etc. So just be aware of that. If you are using it, you're losing it. I was
using it limitedly. So I had it on. And the reason I turned it off was because it was so darn noisy.
Yes.
Yeah. So it needed work, but I guess it's not really giving any value, or people haven't given feedback, so they said, well, we won't use it anymore. We'll drop it. Yeah. These next couple of messages are less specific because they're about GCC tenants, and much as I'd like to rule the world.
GCC tenant?
No. I mean, I'd like to rule the world, but I have got a different kind of tenant, a standard one. But to be honest, it is actually good that they are calling these things out to GCC customers. It's good to know when things are becoming available to you and your tenants. That's important. Quick shout out to Sarah Gilbert on the tech community and the public sector community within the tech community. If you want to go there and keep up to date with what is landing in the GCC tenants, and you're wanting to discuss things with fellow people that are facing those challenges, such as this one, then that's a good place to go.
We were in Seattle 2 weeks ago, and at SharePoint Fest, there was a lot of government cloud customers there. Right. It was very surprising, and we got a lot of questions about GCC because there wasn't it wasn't called out very much. And you and I talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm loving that. I love that they're doing that. And I'm loving that these messages are here only because I'm a consultant. And so when people ask me these questions and I'm working with clients, I want to be able to say yes and no. Otherwise, if I was just an organization and these things were showing up in my tenant, I would be going, why? Why is this even showing up for me?
Yeah.
So anyway, it says applies to null. So maybe that's why it's showing.
So it doesn't apply to me, but I got it anyway. Right. But this is just a quick one to say that the reporting is going to be put on pause because they need to correct a few things. More specifically, the next one, which is more about features that are becoming available to GCC, Meet Now. And we've used this in Skype for Business World for some time, where you want to just throw together a quick conference call and a Meet Now. You invite people into it, and there's no scheduling involved. And that's been available in Teams for a little while now for the rest of the world, and now it's available in GCC.
Well, it's going to be mid-October in GCC. Yep.
Okay. Yep. So that if we I know there's no graphic here, but when you are in a conversation and you've got your buttons down there about how you want to reply, there's that little video button that allows you to start a conversation or a Meet Now as part of that conversation thread. That's exactly what it is. Yep. Or now you've got the Meet Now button beside the meeting scheduling.
Right.
Goodo. So that is on its way. Couple
Next
more.
one is priority field for planner tasks.
Yeah.
So this is obviously it's new. It says new feature. But so this is rolling out. It'll be completed worldwide in early September. But this is kind of cool because most people are kind of using this functionality, but using a different way to mark the priority of tasks, right, Darrell?
Yeah, they're using flags. You've got a number of colored flags along the side, and you might use that to say that a task is blocked, or it is covering a certain phase, or maybe you're using it to signify importance, like red, green, orange, and in that sense. Now having our own priority field, important, urgent, medium, and low, there'd probably be one more that I'd throw in there, which would be blocked. Yeah, which would be good to have that as a included field, but great to see that being added.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is a great functionality, and I'd like Planner to get more and more functionality to make it more robust of a tool. I think it's a great tool, and adding this makes it great. But since there's nothing for us to do to prepare for this change, we just move on, right, Darrell?
Yeah, that's right. You don't even update your end user training, which is the usual standard stamp.
I'm wondering if is there like a template that says there's nothing you need to do, maybe you need to update. We've talked about that. Did they delete that then? They're like, no, nobody's going to have training for this.
No, I think so. That's a conscious decision to remove that sentence from this message template. Look, advice for any of these kinds of changes, it's always good to create awareness around something that is new that's going to be helpful to people at a minimum. Hey, check that out. You might stumble across it, but maybe you want to give people some advice around how it might be helpful.
Agreed.
Yeah, especially if you're already using flags, and you might switch to using priority.
Correct.
Oh, and you know the other thing?
That's a lunch and learn for me. I think.
It is, but the other thing too, like if you're using the Microsoft Graph, remember I talked recently to Brian Smith about Message Center to Planner. There's graph stuff you can do here that if you're actually using the priority field, then you can probably do other things with it. Right,
I would think so.
So there is nothing you need to do except all of that other stuff we talked about.
Right.
Keeping on moving. Teams meeting recordings tab in Microsoft Stream. When you record a meeting in Teams, where does it go, Daniel?
It goes in My Content, right?
Yeah.
And it goes in Stream. So it goes in Stream. But to find it, it's kind of difficult now because you got to go to My Content and search for it.
Or the meeting itself.
Or the meeting itself, yes. Yeah. But I'm loving this update. I'm loving adding, we're putting meeting stuff there. Let's get there easier. We're getting a link in the My Content menu of meetings. Yay! So we can actually see those. Things like, for me, sometimes I do a lot of meetings with clients, especially for training. Let me pull up this site and show you stuff, and let's walk through this. And they want to have a recording of that. Well, I need to download that recording and send it to them or share it with them. But, a lot of times they want it sent to them. And so I'll download the recording, put it in OneDrive, and share it that way because I know anyway, I won't explain why. But it's the way I need to do it in some situations.
Yeah.
Then I can easily get to it from here. So I think it's awesome.
I think it's going to make it far easier when you're doing your follow-ups and you need to make that meeting available. Because at the moment, a standalone meeting will sit in its own space and you find your way through to that standalone meeting in Stream and you've got to do all what Daniel described. But now, if you've organized the meeting and you've done 5 this week, you can go to this, you can see them all, you can go in and attach it to a channel if it needs to be shared with a specific group of people in your organization. So much easier. So good to see. That is coming out in the end of August. Ooh, you know what? That's today.
Already passed. Yeah.
And, if we had more time, I'd actually click on it and show you. But we don't. There's something else to mention.
Yep. The rollout will be completed worldwide by the end of September. There is something to mention that is not in the Message Center we wanted to highlight, which is last week, Chris McNulty put out a blog post on the SharePoint community blog. And it's all about new web parts coming to SharePoint. I'm digging it, Darrell.
Yep.
It's straight up on the top of the blog post talking about this button and call to action. This is I mean, just look at that page. That's a SharePoint page. Being able
No,
to.
it's not. It's a product page, surely. Oh, you mean
It's
it's
a product.
SharePoint? Wow.
I mean, it's just being able to do this. And so that top is a new web part too, right? That's a
Oh, the header?
call to action. Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
That's a web
pre-order
part,
now. I see that.
right? So you can create a image. You can add an image behind it. You can put text, and then you have a button, and then you can have these buttons by themselves. It's pretty slick. I already have it in my tenant. It's pretty slick.
Yeah.
I would think, especially for your site designers who want a little bit of flexibility of having focus on images and content, and having, hey, I want to do something, right? I want my users to do something, not just look at it.
Yeah, and look, I can see this fitting in really nicely for adoption scenarios where you've got step 1, step 2, step 3. Take this
Onboarding,
action, do this,
adoption.
do this. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most
So really,
certainly.
really clear actions. Very cool.
It is very cool.
What else have we got? We've got, well, this was talked about a little ways back, and now we're seeing it in reality. It's the world clock and weather updates. Let's take that image URL. And I love this trick you taught me the other day.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
It is being able to, we're having updates to this. So now we're able to add individual cities and locations and group locations in the web part. So if you look over to the right hand, on the vertical web part, being able to put in multiple, any of world clock and weather web parts, frankly, they're really popular with
Even if
a lot
simple.
of people. They're very simple, and I actually already have a weather web part. I carry it around in my pocket. But anyway, so if you
Pocket part.
want, yeah. So, but what's really cool is if you have geo pages, so
Yes.
geography pages, to put this on there so that if I go to the London page, then I see the weather in London and the time. And so when I call my associate in London, oh, I see it's raining. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Then I can, I know a little bit about it, and I get it. So I think for stuff like that, it's pretty cool.
Yep. It's like, here's yet another reason to go to that page and that location and learn a bit more about what's going on.
Right.
Was there anything else we wanted to mention here too? I guess just quickly, there are some more options around hero web parts, secondary calls to action links. So hero
and then
web
the
parts
news.
are really cool.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, that's it.
I was just going to say the news web part also gets a hero tiles layout, so it'll look a little more like the hero web part.
More heroic.
Yes.
This one, we actually think we need to take a closer look at this, the LinkedIn Elevate capability. So looking at that, it's what we've interpreted this to mean is that you can share SharePoint news from your org into LinkedIn. And does that mean that it's going to be only available to your employees? So we kind of need to take a closer look at that, don't we?
Yes, we do. I think it would be great. And then the last thing, there's the email rollouts for missed SharePoint news posts. So that's cool. But then this one, being able to use custom filtering on your highlighted content. So being able to say, filter by who created it, what document type it is, that kind of stuff, so that you can get a more personalized experience and use that. I think that's great because a lot of people have been using the highlighted content, but what I've seen, it's been kind of limited. So I think this is actually cool to get that filtering in.
Very cool. Do you think there's much of a change in the script for that?
I don't think so. I mean, it's camel. We're using things like and or not operators, the KXL filters as well.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, that about wraps it up. Thanks for joining us. I know there was a lot there. We've gone a few minutes over, but thanks for joining us in the live chat, and we'll catch you again next week when we hear Dr. Daniel say,
"Hello, gang."
Oh, we got to work on that. Sorry, that was a Muppet reference. Catch you again next week. Bye for now.